Welcome to Golden Eagle Spotlight on GoMarquette.com. I'm Jen Armstrong-Dyer. We're here with men's tennis head coach Steve Rodecap. Thank you for coming, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
How's your summer been?
Summer has been awfully good. We've been recruiting pretty heavily. We're going to be replacing 3 seniors, so it's been a busy summer so far.
Good. Now, most of the time, tennis is viewed as an individual sport. Can you talk about the team aspect of it?
Yeah, tennis has that reputation. These kids grow up, going to tournaments by themselves, and they have friends there, but they're always competing basically by themselves. And it's kind of a, it's a lonely sport. It's a tough sport that way. And when you get to college, that's one of the exciting things is that now it becomes a team sport. And, that's an adjustment period for people because, especially for these young kids who have been playing for themselves for all these years, and then you're trying to emphasize the importance of team and the team comes first, and you really need to put yourself on the back burner and really put your teammates first. So it's a tough adjustment for them. But, I feel like at Marquette, the type of kids that we're able to attract to a place like this really believe in the team concept. But, traditionally, that first year, it's a tough adjustment for the kids.
Okay. You're entering your 7th year at Marquette, and each of the last 4 years you've had a winning record. Talk about your goals for this season.
Well, I think our goals are always the same. We feel very comfortable with this year's team, and our players put high expectations on themselves, as do I. I feel like we on paper could be the best team that we've had in my tenure here, and we're excited about that. But we know that that doesn't come easy. Just because it's on paper, you're still going to have to fight. You're still going to have to come to practice every day, ready to work. And if you do that, the results will show. But our goals are always going to be the same. We want to finish as high as we can in the Big East with a chance to win it, which I think we can put ourselves in position to do, and also try to get a spot in the NCAA tournament, which is our ultimate goal.
Good. You'll be relying on 3 experienced seniors. What are they going to need to provide to make this team good?
Well, I'm really excited about this because we have 3 guys. All of them, the unique thing is they all have different areas that they really excel in. So it's going to be, our team's going to have very good leadership that I feel that in the past we've had good leadership, but this year I feel like it's going to be the best that we've ever had. And those 3 guys are going to be not just necessarily in match, but in practice and the way they lead their team in practices and, through the tough times in the beginning in the fall where it's more of a training development period to get the guys through that and let them know that, the light's bright at the end of the tunnel and you just got to keep working and pushing. And our guys, those 3 guys, they've all, with the exception of Dushan, started their careers here and they know what it's like. They've been through it enough and know what to expect. And every year changes. They also know that your personnel changes a little bit. And these 3 guys, what's good about them, I think that they can look at the incoming guys and see their, what they can bring to the team and kind of give them, individual goals for them to, kind of be leaders as well, just in a different fashion. So we're really excited about our 3 seniors.
How would you describe your coaching philosophy?
Well, I would say that, I'm pretty old-fashioned when it comes to, we need to put in the time and the work and not only on the tennis court but in the weight room and in conditioning. I've always felt like our conditioning has helped us win matches that maybe we wouldn't have if we weren't in shape, so that's going to be very important. But it's a pretty structured, disciplined program. I expect our guys to hold themselves accountable and we're going to be on time. We're going to work really hard and I'm going to push you as hard as I can. And even some days, you might not feel like it that I like you. And, at the end of the day when you go home, that you're playing in a team or an environment where we're trying to get the most out of you, and we do always, in respect to our guys. I mean, I feel that they understand that and they come to work knowing that and know that they're going to be pushed and they also understand that at the end of the day they want to get better and they want to present our team to be the best at the end of the year.
At Marquette, it's known for its athletics as well as its academics. What does the term student athlete mean at Marquette?
Well, I think it's really special here. You know, I've been at 3 other institutions. I've been at public, I've been at private, I've been at big, I've been at small, and we really sell that in recruiting because I really do feel it's a special place. You hear them talking about family and everything all the time, but I think what our student athletes get at Marquette is as good as it is anywhere because I really feel that they do care about our athletes at this institution. I have yet to have a problem with a professor and not being accommodating to a student athlete, and you know, in return, I feel like our kids do a good job giving back too. I mean, I feel like they're responsible, and you know, we have a great support system here with our academic staff, and you know, I really feel that we can attract a very good recruit because it is a special place to not only be an athlete but to be a student.
Let's go larger scale for a minute. Roger Federer just won his 15th individual Grand Slam title. Talk about the significance of that.
Well, the match actually gives me chills as you sit here and mention it because, I mean, it was one of the best matches that I've certainly ever seen, and I would have loved to have been able to see it firsthand, but just to sit there and watch, and I talked a minute ago about how lonely the sport can be, but those guys were out there for over 4 hours all by themselves. There's no coaches out there, and, you know, it's tough because your mind's telling you can't go on, and how am I going to do this? And Federer, what's unbelievable is, you know, he didn't break the guy's serve until the very end. You know, the whole day he'd been out there 4.5 hours and couldn't find a way to do it, and finally did. And when you're not being successful at something, at the very end you find a way to do it, just speaks levels to the type of belief that a guy like Roger Federer has in himself. You know, also in sport, you know that, you know, a loss sometimes can be devastating to you, and I think it's perspective. I thought Andy really handled himself very well and after the match, and he knows what he was up against. But, you know, when it's there and, you know, right in front of you and you don't get it done, you know, I'm sure that was tough for Andy, and I'm sure that, you know, as Roger sat there the year before in defeat, you know, that's part of athletics, and the truly great players find a way to pick themselves up, and it's no different in teams either. You know, when you have a tough loss, how are you going to respond? Typically the good teams are going to respond really well, and the teams that aren't so good probably aren't going to respond, but it was an incredible match, and, you know, it's going to be hard to ever top that one.
Great. Thanks, Coach, for your time. Thank you for watching Golden Eagle Spotlight on GoMarquette.com.